Since LGBTQ plus and transgender people have been a big topic in the media and even politics, I think we all need a lesson because our biology classes have failed us. So I'm here to explain how it's possible for a person to look one way but feel a completely different way about their sex or their gender identity. We all start off as a zygote, which is a fertilized egg, and we all develop the same up until 6 weeks. At 6 weeks, our gonadal ridges differentiate into either ovaries or testes. We also have two ducts that differentiate into either the uterus and fallopian tubes or seminal vesicles, epididymis, and vas deferens. But the thing is, we don't all perfectly sexually develop the same. There are 2% of babies that are born with atypical sexual development, and 1.7% of people are considered intersex. This means that there are anomalies in our chromosomes, genitals, hormones, reproductive systems. People are a mix of phenotypically male and female. This could be on the exterior and interior. What causes differences in our sexual development? Well, I'm sure that you were taught that females are XX and males are XY. But sometimes the chromosomes don't split properly during meiosis 1. This is the development of our gametes, which is ovaries for females and sperm for males. In females, they should just have one X copy, and the males should have either an X or a Y copy. But non-disjunction happens, and you can have a baby that is born who is XXX. They could be XXY, XYY, or just X. Even XXYY, that exists! Klinefelter syndrome is the most common sex chromosome abnormality, and this is when a male is born XXY. And this occurs in 1 out of 650 male births, but it's only diagnosed in 25% of cases. And development can be abnormal starting from childhood. They can have muscle weakness or learning disabilities. Then in puberty, because they have so little testosterone, they produce less facial hair, less body hair, less pubic hair. They can have gynecomastia, which is breast tissue. They have smaller testes. They can have female pattern pubic hair, and 90% of these are infertile because they produce little or no sperm. This can be treated with testosterone hormone replacement therapy, which is recommended so that they develop normally and prevent risks of developing osteoporosis and diabetes. Switching gears, we could have different cells in our bodies that have non-identical genetic codes. So they could have different DNA, different number of chromosomes, different expression due to spontaneous events like mutations or non-disjunction like we discussed. So there's different cells in tissues of our body or organs of our body that are expressing different DNA. This is known as mosaicism. This could also occur when two zygotes in the womb fuse together to form one zygote. So you could have a zygote that's XX and the other one XY fused together, so you have a mixture of XX and XY. This is known as a chimera. Also a mixture of DNA while we're in the womb and we're receiving stem cells through the umbilical cord from our mothers. So we could have boys that are expressing some cells with XX as their sex chromosomes. This could also happen with a stem cell, organ, or tissue transplant in which the person is expressing the DNA of that individual where they were received. This is known as microchimerism when you're expressing cells of different DNA. Our chromosomes could look one way, but it's really our genes and the expression of our genes that determines our physical characteristics. So there are 25 genes involved in sexual development. The most important is the SRY gene located on the Y chromosome. This is involved in producing the testes and signaling the body to produce male characteristics and suppress female reproductive organs. So you could have an XY missing the SRY gene, so it produces a phenotypic female with dysfunctional sexual reproductive organs. You could also have an XX that is expressing the SRY gene that produces a phenotypic male with female characteristics. Sex is a spectrum. You could have male, you could have female, you could have somewhere in between, be intersex, somewhere out of there, non-binary, blue for boy, pink for girl. Gender is a social construct, and it's possible that Adam and Eve were not the first human beings. It is hypothesized that the Y chromosome was originally an X chromosome that slowly degenerated over time. So just food for thought. Do not judge anyone or discriminate anyone on what they identify with. What you see physically might not be the full picture. So peace and love. I hope you enjoyed this.